So earlier today on the Herd, Colin Cowherd came to Daniel Jones' defense, and he had a few different things to share. And so I want to play this here, and then I'm going to give my thoughts in response to this.
There is no quarterback in the NFL that's won a playoff game. Daniel Jones has won a playoff game. There is no quarterback in the NFL that gets ripped more, and there's no empathy or no sympathy. Even on HBO's Hard Knocks. I mean, it was like anti-Daniel Jones. The Giants, Mara, the GM would talk about him. Daniel Jones was watching it. He's got a playoff win. Now, did the Giants reach to draft him at number 6? Yes. Is he overpaid currently in the NFL? Well, it's $40 million a year, not 55, but yeah. So yesterday there was a big scuffle. Lions, Giants at practice. And I got to be honest with you, Daniel Jones jumped right into the middle of it and was right there pushing back with everybody, and the coaches were like trying to pull the quarterback out. But I don't know. Maybe it's because, you know, he's getting paid more than he deserves. So what? So does the entire NFL. Maybe he went to Duke, easy to dislike, privileged school, or that he's a member of a team in New York. You know, that we tend to think of New York teams as getting too much free press. But nobody gets bashed more than Daniel Jones, and he's won a playoff game.
I'm honestly surprised that the quarterback that Colin Cowherd comes to defend here is Daniel Jones, considering there's so many things that you could bring up to show just how poor of a quarterback he's been during his time in the NFL. The one positive that Cowherd keeps bringing up is the fact that he won a playoff game, so you can't take that one away from him, and he honestly played pretty good in that playoff game. But there's so many reasons when you look at Jones and his 5 years in New York. He has been one of the worst passers in the NFL. When you look at his quarterback rating overall in his career, 85.2 passer rating. You compare that to quarterbacks last year, that would have put him at 28th in the NFL. So he's not very good. He's not been a good passer in his 5 years. Of course, he was injured last year. But let me share with you what Cowherd had to say next, and the person he's comparing him with to sort of show that maybe Daniel Jones doesn't need to be as criticized. Here we go. Let me pull up the right timestamp here. Here he goes.
And so it's interesting, as much as we bash Daniel Jones, yet for like 2 years, people in the same city defended Zach Wilson. Daniel Jones is much better than Zach Wilson. Kenny Pickett was supported for a year in Pittsburgh. Daniel Jones is much better than Kenny Pickett.
All right, so those examples he brings up two guys who have spent basically half the time that Daniel Jones has spent in the NFL. Of course, when Zach Wilson is in New York, the first year, people are expectant, hopeful. Of course, that hope goes down the more he plays. But I think even in year 2, year 3, you think, okay, maybe they take that year 2 jump, year 3 jump. So Zach Wilson has been in the NFL for 3 seasons. Kenny Pickett has been in the NFL for 2 seasons. So, of course, even last year in Pittsburgh, there was hope that maybe Kenny Pickett can take that jump and get to the next, get to another level. And it's just different because with Daniel Jones, he has now been in the NFL for 5 years. And if Kenny Pickett was going out in year 3 and had another average season or below average season, and then went out in year 4, had another bad season, I think people would be just as hard on Kenny Pickett or Zach Wilson if they were doing it for 4 or 5 years as people are on Daniel Jones. And so I don't know that, people are harder on Daniel Jones. It's just that he's been a worse quarterback for a longer period of time, and I think that's why he gets even more criticism.
And then there's Justin Fields, who Daniel Jones is absolutely better than as well. You think I'm wrong? This is not gymnastics. Let's go to numbers. This is not gymnastics. In every crucial category, without question, with a worse offensive line, PFF last 2 years ranks the Giants O-line as bad as any in the league, and with clearly fewer weapons. No DJ Moore, right? No DJ Moore on the outside. Daniel Jones has won over twice as many games, completes a significantly higher percentage of his passes, averages more yards a game. Touchdown interception ratio is better, so is the passer rating.
Okay, so I think it's interesting that to defend Daniel Jones, the quarterback that you have to compare him with is Justin Fields, who has been one of the worst passing quarterbacks in the NFL in his 3 years here in the NFL. So even though Daniel Jones has been slightly better when it comes to passing than Justin Fields, I don't think that makes Daniel Jones a good quarterback. because as I said earlier, Daniel Jones' career passer rating would put him at 28th last season, so not good. You take Justin Fields, which is slightly lower there, 82.3. You compare that to last season, Justin Fields would be 33rd. So you have Daniel Jones, looking at last year, if you took their career passer rating, put it in the quarterbacks last season, Daniel Jones would be 28th, Justin Fields would be 33rd. So they're both not good at passing. The thing with Justin Fields is he has that insane athleticism. Daniel Jones does have that ability to run, not like Justin Fields. He can run, Daniel Jones, but Justin Fields has that like next level ability like a Lamar Jackson when it comes to running. Passing is a different story, but let's continue to hear what Colin shares here.
And a significantly worse O-line with fewer weapons. So also Daniel Jones actually has a playoff win. Justin Fields has never sniffed it. So it's interesting, as I watch the Olympics, and so much is subjective, be very careful about being swayed by optics and aesthetics. Justin Fields looks to be better, but winning in this league is from the pocket, and he is an inaccurate thrower. Now, both guys are bad in the fourth quarter, but the difference is Daniel Jones is actually better there too. The other thing to remember, whereas in Daniel Jones' division, since he's been there, the Eagles have made a Super Bowl. The Cowboys have won 12 games multiple times. In Caleb Williams' division, they had to rebuild because Aaron Rodgers left. His first couple years, the Lions were a mess. And the Vikings are the Vikings. Oh, is okay. So just take this into consideration. But I watched Daniel Jones get in that fight yesterday, and I thought, God, does anybody say anything, including me, ever nice about this kid? Here they get into a fight, he's jamming his head into it, and his teammates are pulling him off, and it's like, listen, I don't have a problem criticizing Daniel or Justin Fields, but it's amazing who we at least are optimistic about.
All right, so I get what he's getting at there, but as I said earlier, I think the reason that there is more optimism at this point in Fields' career is because he's still younger in his career than Daniel Jones. Now, me personally, just from what we've seen with Justin Fields in his career in Chicago in 3 seasons, his passing is just, he's not a great processor of defenses, and he has been one of the worst passing quarterbacks in the league, just pretty much in any stat category, and Daniel Jones is slightly better than that. But again, I think the reason for optimism, if you compare Jones and Fields, is because Fields has that insane athleticism where he may not be a great passer, but he can break away a 70-yard insane run. Daniel Jones can do a little bit of that, but not quite like a Justin Fields. So I see why there's more optimism there. Plus, he's in a new situation. And Daniel Jones, again, has been in the NFL for 5 years and still has not been able to, I think, play as at the same level as to which he's being paid. And so I honestly don't think that Daniel Jones will be in New York for the long haul, because I don't think that he is going to be able to elevate this team to where they want to go. And now, there's always a chance that a guy takes a step forward, and maybe with some better supporting cast, a better offensive line, having Malik Neighbors there, maybe Daniel Jones gets a little bit better. But so far has not been great for him, and he's been a slightly better passer than Justin Fields. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you want more NFL content, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.